Hi everybody, it's Mike Newman. It's Monday morning finish line. It's Labor Day. It's September 4th. And we just got through the first good weekend of cross country. Saw some great performances. Before we get going into that, I want to talk about a new website. It's called Illinois Cross Country Speed Ratings. And great thing, you get to you can easily compare runners from course to course. The guy that created this, his name is Roland Hopkins. It's only the second speed rating site in the nation, so we're pretty lucky in Illinois. I got to talk to him on Saturday at the Hornet Red-Devil Invitational, and here's how.
Okay, we're here at the Hinsdale Hornet Red-Devil Invitational with Roland Hopkins of well, his wife coaches at Minooka, and I'll let him tell you about himself. But he has started a great new website, Illinois Cross Country Speed Rankings.com. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, how did this website come about?
Well, a couple of years ago, I learned about speed ratings from on telerunners.com.
So, explain to everybody what speed ratings are.
So, speed ratings are a way to compare cross-country times from different courses. So, you take a race, say here at Catherine Legge versus Edwardsville. The two courses are completely different. One is really hilly, one is a little bit flatter, but there's no way to compare the times because there's such a big time difference. So with speed ratings, you're able to compare the times figuring out what a race factor between the two races, and then you can compare the times using the speed ratings.
It was a big help for me last year because you started sending me those for like rankings and for comparing teams going into sectionals and all of that. It was so cool. What was the biggest difficulty about starting up the site?
So starting up the site, the hardest thing was learning how to use an Access database to store everything. Last year when I did the conference meets, I basically did it all in an Excel spreadsheet, and it would take forever. Now I've kind of learned how to use Access and Excel together, so I can basically upload everything or I calculate everything into Excel, and then I can upload everything into my Access database.
How much data do you have so far this year? Do you know? A lot?
I think I have 25 meets, something like that. I have all of the first 2 weeks of the season so far.
It's been fun to look at. Background, where'd you run in high school, college?
Yep.
I know where you ran in college.
So I ran 4 years of cross country and 2 years of track at Downers Grove South, and then I ran 4 years of cross country and 4 years of track at North Central.
North Central fraternity, that's still alive there. What are you looking forward to this year with the speed ratings?
I'm looking to be able to project more races and kind of get a better idea of where teams are at throughout the whole year. It'll be the Naperville Twilight. I'm kind of excited about to see where the projection looks like. Last year I did it, and I think I was team place. I was pretty close, and points I was maybe about 10 to 15 points off.
But that's a good plus minus there with that. How will this help Illinois schools on the national perspective?
Well, it'll be because Bill Malin in New York does a lot of the national ratings, so we can actually take our ratings and compare those with the national ratings to actually see where we fit in on that national scene. So when we get to Midwest regionals and NXN, we can kind of see where we fall in there.
Well, love your site. You're doing a great job with it, and enjoy the meet today. And back to you in the studio, Mike.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mike. Very interesting. I use speed ratings all the time. It helps me with rankings and other fun stuff. Rankings not only within state, but nationally too. Good comparison thing. So check that out. So we have a lot to talk about today. Boy, do we have a lot to talk about. I was at Hinsdale. I haven't been to the Hornet Red-Devil for the last 3 years because my daughter had been running at Leavey Invitational, so I missed that meet, but I also missed going to Catherine Legge in early September where the weather was nice. It was so beautiful. It was 60 degrees when they ran. So being there, you can check out the videos of the races. We did the frost off and the varsity races. You can check that out on, the link is on ilxctf.com. Also had some great interviews, 12 interviews in total, with each of the race winners. Caitlin Hart, she led 100 meters into the race, and she went on and she ran 16:42, which is a great time, under 17 early this year in the year. That's good. It's only the third fastest time ever on that course. And the two faster times are both by Glenbard West runners. Lindsey Graham did it in a dual meet where she ran 16:27. I remember that meet. And then Lindsey Payne a few years ago, 2015, ran 16:40. So 16:42 for Caitlin. That's a great start. She looked great throughout. She continued to extend the lead about 20 seconds at the halfway point, 38 seconds at the end. And Yeva Michelin of Evanston, wow, what a race. Her previous personal best was about 18:24 for 3 miles. She ran 17:21, so I'd keep an eye on her this year. I think she's going to do some great things. And then Emily Shelton, Lindsey Payne, both were sick. Didn't tell their coaches, both ran. And, you find out about yourself when you run sick. I did it a number of times. But you got your way through it, and you're surprised to see what you can do. So they were 3rd and 4th in the race. Team-wise, Glenbard West, now people ask me, well, why did you rank Glenbard West number 2 in the state? Well, they have 3 in the first 5 and in this race. And Katie Hoey ran a smart second half where she moved up throughout, and she ended up 5th, right behind Caitlin Hart and Lindsey Payne. But their 4th and 5th runners are back. Hinsdale Central ran a smart race, moved their pack up throughout. Grace McCabe was about 20th when she passed by me near a mile and a half, and she ended up 10th overall. So she moved nicely. Hinsdale wins by 2 points, 84-86. And there's a number of things too. You have to look at the results, the full results, and look at the frost soft results. Manuka did not run 2 of their top 5 runners, put them in the frost soft race. Wheaton Warrenville South only scored 24 points in the frost soft race, but they're going to have some runners that they're going to move up. They're going to be tough. Palatine has some runners down. They're going to be tough. Naperville Central had a nice pack. I want to say a 25 to 30 second split on 5. They look good. So there's going to be a number of teams from that meet that are just going to move up as the year goes on. Boys race, Neuqua Valley looked great. Again, 42 points, 1-2 finished by Zach Kinney, Ryan Kennedy. Kinney was in charge throughout. He was towards the lead, was managing the pace. They, Kinney, Kennedy, and Tyler Bombasino ran 5:04 for the last mile, and they came in. Bombasino was 8th, and then Kinney and Kennedy were 1-2. 42 points. The team that really impressed me was Wheaton Warrenville South. Now, they didn't have one of their top 5 runners, John Keys, but man, their pack, I want to say 19-second split on 4 runners. Well, I didn't write that down. But 19 seconds on 4 runners is pretty darn good. So, and even if they put their sophomore runner in, I looked at speed ratings for this, and Neuqua Valley had a raw speed rating on 5 runners of about 870. If you put the sophomore in, that was the number 1 runner in the sophomore race for Wheaton Warrenville South. Their 5th runner in the varsity race was 94th. It would have raised it to 858. I think it goes even higher if you put John Keys in there, because Keys ran in the pack most of last year. So once he gets healthy, it's going to be interesting to see what Wheaton Warrenville South. They run at Wakanda next week, and then they run at Peoria Notre Dame. Very interesting to see what they do at Peoria Notre Dame. So we've got that. Lyons Township. So everybody, after the races are over at Hinsdale, everybody's asking me, did you hear what happened at LT? Did you hear what happened? Nobody had heard. And then I get an email from Mike Danner, who just sent me a picture of the results, and I saw 14-10 by Danny Kilray. Wow. Fast. Real fast. Last year the winning time was 14-19 by Dylan Jacobs. Now, we got to remember with Dylan last year, you know, in the middle of the year, everybody was going, well, what's going on with Dylan? He ran 14:40 or 14:41 at Peoria Central. Look what he did at the end of the year. So, John O'Malley, Coach John O'Malley knows what he's doing. knows how to coach some great runners, and Dylan will be ready to go when the time is right. But a 24-second win for Kilray is really impressive. And people ask me, well, why do you have Lyons Township ranked so high? Well, they look pretty good. 53 points. That's why I had them ranked 5. I wasn't going to rank them in the teens. You don't have a conscience if you're rating them in the middle there. You got to look at who they had coming back, how they didn't track. And Lyons Township, I think, has a good team. They have a gap of 1 to 5. Forget about that because Kilray is so far in the lead. But you do have a 38-second split on 2 to 5. So they're going to need to get that number down, and I'm sure they'll work on that. Of course they'll work on that. 53 points. Is that was 53 points for LT. Lowell was second. Downers Grove South really looked good too, with 88 points. On the girls' side, Valpo by 2 points, 41 to 43 over LT. Now LT doesn't have Sarah Barcelona. Barcelona stress fracture, shin splints, I think, something like that. So she was held out. But Emily Henkel, 17:59, was only a few seconds behind the leader, repeat champion from Lowell, and I can't remember her name. Okay. But LT girls look pretty good too. Leavey Invite, Downers Grove North, 27 points. 5 runners in the first 8. I don't want to say there was not a ton of competition, but I think they could have run. They would have run faster if they were pushed. I mean, 15:18 at Leroy Oaks is okay, but Downers had a, what was that? 15-second split on 5. So they kept their pack together, and we'll see what kind of pack running they do this next weekend at Peoria. I'm sure it will be good. On the girls' side, Jocelyn Long, congrats to her. 3 years in a row she's won that meet, and she won pretty handily by 30 seconds over a freshman teammate. Those freshmen on the girls' side really come up. They boost your team. She was 30 seconds ahead of Molly Fitzpatrick. And Barrington won. Kind of surprised with that. 48 to 78 over Batavia. Very interesting. Bennett Academy surprised me, 82 points, but their first 3 runners are freshmen. So, and then York was 4th with 91 points. So, interesting. Very interesting results there. At Fenton, Glenbard 39, Hersey 48. And I wrote in the little preview on Friday, well, we'll see if Hersey holds their sophomores down. They did. Glenbard went 1-3. Stephen Moody, 15:30. Matt Dietzen of Oak Park, 15:33. Pretty close there. Glenbard had a 28-second split on 5. And Hersey, without those 2 sophomores in there, their first 4 runners were within 8 seconds of each other. So, go look at the speed ratings, compare the sophomore. You really can't compare the sophomore times because Methner and Svetny went 1-2. They ran 16:02. And I know they can run faster than that. They were jogging. They won by 30 seconds in the frost-off race. On the girls' side, Downers Grove South. Impressive. They go to Peoria with a lot of momentum. 5 in the first 10. 32 points. Vernon Hills, who won at Lake County on Wednesday. They come back. They score 76 points to get second. So 2 pretty impressive performances by the Cougars. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. And Peoria this week, you have Belvedere North. You have Dunlap, who skunked the competition at Galesburg this weekend. 15 points. And second place, I think, Metamora with 118. Boy. So, you got that. Brenna Cahoon, 18:09. 5 runners in the first 10 for Downer South. We said that. Pleasant Valley, out in Iowa. Naperville North, 32 points. Edina in Minnesota, 45 points. Johnston, Iowa, 114. Both Minnesota and Iowa defending state champs. Naperville North defending state champion in Illinois, and they crushed Johnston, and they beat Edina too. So Edina is supposed to be good, but Naperville North had their say. They'll face off against each other in a few weeks at Griak on those hills at the University of Minnesota. Sarah Schmidt, 17:49. 4 in the first 8. Naperville North looked really good. Wheaton North second on the boys' side. First time that they've been there, but they look pretty good. 40-65 behind Edina. Edina's not bad, but Wheaton North. So everybody's going to be looking at Wheaton Warrenville South and Neuqua Valley and the DVC. Keep an eye on Wheaton North. They're sneaky good. They're pretty good. On the Cow Chip Classic, I've seen partial results of that, but the one result that really hit me, Jordan Harmon won the girls' championship race pretty easily. Logan Hall of Arthur Lovington, wow, 14:49. He broke a course record set by John Davis, who ran 14:55. Interesting. Hall is ready to go. That's pretty good. Also, if we're looking out of state, let's go back out of state. At Racine Horlick, Oswego swept on both the girls and the boys. Girls team looked pretty good. Isabel Christensen ran with Grace Pagone. Pagone. Yeah, I screwed that name up. But they looked pretty good. Libertyville swept the individual titles with Melissa Mantesh on the girls' side and Alex Tam on the boys' side. And then Granite City, Edwardsville girls look really good. 5 in the first 12. Interesting to see how they run this weekend in Peoria. 33 points. Jenna Schwartz, 17:32. Waterloo is second with 76 points. But Jenna Schwartz at 17:32 this early in the year. You know, everybody's looking at Grace McLaughlin. Well, maybe Schwartz pushes Grace McLaughlin. We'll see. On the boys' side, Andrew O'Keefe, 15:05. Charlie Parrish of Freeburg, 15:12. Edwardsville, 74 points. 33-second split on their first 5. And then Chatham Glenwood, a 43-second split on 5. They were second with 93 points, 91 points, something like that. So a good 2A team running good there. So that's about it. Boy, what a busy week. I mean, ended up going to the meet. My daughter moved into college, which is kind of, you know, it was fun. Time flies by pretty fast. But we went to Wrigley Field. She had never been to Wrigley. I've been there so many times, but she had never been there, so she really wanted to go to a Cubs game. So everything's fine the first 3 innings. We were sitting in a good group, we thought. Knowledgeable fans, which I liked. And then midway through the 4th inning, this couple sits behind us. Now, the row behind us where we were sitting, there was nobody sitting there. And this girl didn't shut up from the 4th inning through the 9th inning, and everybody's like, you know, she was Miss Know-It-All. I don't like what Donald Trump is doing. The North Koreans, we should do something without the North Koreans. Soccer, I couldn't believe the World Cup or the Confederation Cup over the summers. They had free kicks at the end. No, penalty kicks, you. I was starting to get upset. My daughter's looking at me like, she's like, Dad, don't do anything. Don't do it. But this, she kept going, blah, 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 blah. So, if you're going to go to a baseball game and sit behind me, just please know what you're talking about, because she had no clue. I just wanted to turn around and I'm like, in the first place, and no, but I was kind and gentle, you know. Daughter and I were having a fun time, you know, watching the Cubs win. So, and then one other thing, what happened on Saturday night. Show this picture. That's Kevin Rafferty of Wabansie Valley. He and his wife Alicia had a bouncing baby boy. Well, 6 pounds 9 ounces. His name is Philip. And won't see him on the cross-country course a lot this fall because he's doing what's important right now. He's taking some time off so that he can spend some time with his wife and with his new son. And you treasure those memories. I know I have. I've got those memories in my head. It's a cool thing. And I know all you parents can relate to me on that. But you treasure those moments. So, Raph, Zim, congratulations. Enjoy. Love every moment. So, this weekend, Peoria, first to the finish, where I run around 6 times on the course. But there's going to be some great races. 2A girls, team race 1, 2, and 3. Tilray against Clayton Mendez, and 3A boys. 3A girls, Naperville North and Hinsdale Central. I'm getting verklempt. I'm getting choking up here. And it goes out on the boys' side. You have number 1 Downers Grove North. And on the 2A side, I didn't even look at my calendar. Normal universities there, whether they run full steam, if they run everybody, Muhammad isn't there. Muhammad is down at Lanphier. Muhammad ran easily at Charleston to win easily. They had 4 guys within 2 seconds of each other around 16 minutes. They didn't push it. And then Grace McLaughlin in the 2A girls race. So there's going to be a lot to talk about. We will write about that. You'll see that at the end of the week on ILXCTF. And a lot of other things. And you can find this video, well, if you, I'm not going to say where you can find it. It's on YouTube. I don't have to say that because you've already found it. I don't know. It's been a long weekend. Long week. So, everybody have a great Labor Day. Enjoy your day off before you go back to school. Hydrate. It's really it's warmed up already. But that's about it. So, have a lot to talk about next week. And until the next time that we talk, this is Mike Newman from ILXCTF.com and Monday Morning Finish on YouTube.